Hi there, I'm Katie and this is the How to Be a Minimalist YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out the description box below because I will put in links to videos that are related to this one, as well as recipe details if those are related to the video. And I will also add in a link to my podcast, which is where I really spend a lot of time talking about minimalism and simple living. And now let's get into the video. The topic I want to talk about is how to declutter, and these are 5 questions that will help you to determine whether you should keep something or not. These are a few of the items that I have found around my home that I've been wanting to declutter. I especially wanted to declutter my closet as I have found several things that I don't want to wear anymore that I will be shrinking out of by the time I am in summer clothes again. We are moving into fall and winter and I just don't really want these things around cluttering up my closet. I know sometimes it's really hard to declutter. I've also found a pan and a few different things like that I'm like, I really don't want to get rid of them necessarily, but I don't use them often enough to keep, and so I'm going to be letting go of more things so that I can make way for things that I will use all the time or just have that extra space to enjoy. I know there are a lot of different questions that you can ask yourself, but these are the 5 that I find really help me to make my way through my things so that I can determine whether I really have in my home what I want. Question number 1 would be, just right on that topic, is this helping me to have the home that I want? As you can see with the clothing that I have a nice swim top, I have a couple of pair of shorts and things like that I just don't need anymore because they're frankly too big for me already, but by the time next summer comes around, I'm really going to be way slimmer and I just will not need these clothes anymore. I already don't need them. They already don't fit me. So do I really want to keep them in my closet just in case I gain weight? Or what if I don't lose much more weight by the time next summer comes around? Or what if I fluctuate up 10 pounds? The thing is, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live thinking like about the what ifs, and so it's not helping me to have the home that I want right now, or the home that I have right now, or the body that I have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these clothes. My next question is, what is the positive versus negative value of this item? For me, all of these clothes, while they are pretty or were functional or things like that for me for a time, now they are not functional at all for me. They are still pretty, but I just don't need them anymore, and so there's a lot of negative value in me having them. Not only does it imply that I might need them, which means that I would have gained weight in order to have them, so it's kind of like a little bit of negativity for me. It would mean for me moving back on my health that I've worked really hard to achieve, and it would also mean that I have to look at them all the time and take up the space to store them and things like that. It also means that I'm not making way for the clothes that I really would like to be able to have when the next summer season comes around. So there's not a lot of positive value here anymore. When I was using them and when I fit into them, they had a lot of positive value because they were cute clothes that fit me well. But now they just don't fit me anymore, and so the negative value is very high in percentage. I have a whole video on positive versus negative value and what this really means to me, and I will link that in the details down below. That way you can check it out. A lot of people don't realize it, but we have a lot of single-purpose items in our homes. If you take a look around, there are a lot of things that you could get rid of and just use something else instead, and that item would then become a multi-purpose item. I have helped people with decluttering before that had one pan for this in their kitchen and one pan for that, and they were essentially the same pan, but they were just using this one pan for only this and this one pan for only that. I've tried to talk some people through this, and sometimes they agree and they are able to get rid of things, but sometimes it's really hard to get over that mentality that, no, this is what this pan is for. Well, why can't this pan be for this and that, and you can ditch the other one? It's up to you, of course, but when you're really thinking about wanting extra space, if you really want the extra space, look for items that can be multi-purpose and get rid of the single-purpose items, unless you truly need single-purpose items. My 4th question would be, how difficult is it to replace this item? Sometimes we look at things and we add so much value to them, and it's really misplaced value in a lot of cases. Now, of course, if you have something that's truly difficult to replace and you only use it a few times a year, but when you use it those few times a year, there's really nothing else that will replace it, and also it would be extremely expensive or even impossible to replace, then you really might consider keeping those items. However, there are a lot of things in our homes that are really, really easy to replace. Those things that are truly easy to replace that you've been holding on to but you really don't use hardly at all, you can either tuck them away in a box somewhere and just see how your life goes without them, or you can just maybe change your mentality and go ahead and let them go. My final question would be, ask yourself, how often do I use this item? If we really dig down deep, a lot of times we hardly use these items at all. I remember the summer that we spent in our tent trailer. Now, we don't live in a tent trailer anymore. This RV is not a tent trailer. That would be very, very small. But we did spend one summer in a tent trailer because we were moving from a rental and we were moving locations and moving across the state after the end of the summer. I remember packing that trailer with so much stuff, and I was so proud of myself because I'd gotten rid of so much already. And as the summer went along, I realized how little I actually used and needed. There were special baking cups that I had in there, or special little bathroom toiletries kits and little holder items and things like that. There were clothes that I thought we would use, or even camping supplies that I thought we would use. In the end, I pretty much was able to ditch a whole bunch of stuff on the road, and it was incredible. It felt great to get rid of things that I really didn't need, and it was really one of the first steps in me really beginning to practice minimalism and realizing what I really need is my family and a few essentials. I really don't need much more than that. It's often a lot easier to get rid of stuff when you think about how much you actually use something. So be honest with yourself and really allow yourself to explore how often you actually use an item. If you cannot remember the last time you used something, it might be time to let it go. These questions are great and helpful, but it's still hard to get rid of our stuff sometimes. I hope that you will be patient with yourself because minimalism is a journey, it's a path, it's an adventure. Saying, I'm gonna get rid of everything right now, this weekend, whatever, it doesn't always work out like that. If it does work out that way for you, awesome and great and good job and round of applause. But if you are in need of a little bit more time, it's okay to take it slow and to move forward. Remember that progress is perfection. Thanks so much for watching this video. Also, let me know in the comments down below, what are some questions that you ask yourself that help you to declutter a little bit more efficiently? Good luck on your journey as you sort through your things, and I hope you have lots of clarity as you're doing that. And remember, it's all about the experiences, not the stuff.